evening. Thank you and welcome to Leavenworth. So glad you chose to visit us this weekend. We are the Leavenworth Alpines. Good name, huh? Appropriate. A local nonprofit group made of volunteers. We have a family going to play next. This is Brad and grandsons, Todd and Ben. And one really special thing is that they visited Switzerland this year, stayed in a farm way up in the mountains with the cows and goats, and studied with some of the masters. So they're bringing some of that experience to Leavenworth now. So this is Brad Summers and his grandsons. So these beautiful horns are each made from a single tree. Spruce in the case of all but this last American-made horn, which is made of redwood. Isn't that fun? So traditionally these horns play their soothing music to call the cattle, the livestock way up in the mountains, and also to calm them so they can milk them out in the open in the summer months. So simple melodies played over and over to calm and call the livestock. Most of the pieces we play are named after the location where that farmer, that herdsman, was heard playing that melody over and over to his livestock. And so we have names like Bimvire, which is on the pond, or named after mountain peaks, Uftabinklialp. Or even there's one that's sort of, we translate to down in the ditch. Hifomhingeregrava. Yeah, so very traditional music that's been played for hundreds of years in the mountains that are now Switzerland and Austria and Germany and a little bit of northern Italy too. Westschweizer is the name of this. That's a big region of Switzerland. So we love to take questions, but it's a pretty big group tonight. Does anyone have a burning Alpine question they would like to ask? Okay. Well, how long do they take to make? Well, that's an interesting question. Do you have an answer?
Well, I just bought a new one when we were over in Switzerland. He said he spends 150 hours on one horn.
So the method of construction is to split the tree lengthwise. So first of all, this was a high-growing Alpine spruce, and it grew on such a steep slope that it had that curve at the bell. And then split lengthwise to carve out, tapering from one end to the other, and then wrapped with strips of bark or maybe from that same tree to hold it back together. Pretty cool. Think of all the musical instruments you know and all the fiddling you do to get them in tune. Well, we can't fiddle at all with these. So we're totally dependent on the craftsmanship of these beautiful horns that were made up in shops that look like barns way high up in the mountains in Switzerland and Austria and Germany. Yeah. Oof de Winklialp. One of my favorite questions that people seem to ask is, are they heavy? And so one of our favorite moments as a group was a little girl about 9 years old out in the audience raising her hand to ask a question. She asked, how heavy is it? And I said, well, you come up and tell me. And so she picked up the one of the horns and she said, oh, about a chicken. We were all had tears streaming down our face, and we continued to play, and at the end of the performance, there she was in the back row with her family with her hand up again. I said, yes, and she says, no, maybe 2 chickens. So they're not very heavy, I guess, you know, it's out there, yeah. We are going to play two more pieces, and then we're going to get out of the way because the fire dancers might want to use these as kindling. We wouldn't want that. Oh, so thank you very much for joining us here this evening, and we just love Leavenworth. We love living here. It's great to have visitors, but it's also a fun place to live. And our horns are made possible by various grants and support, as you can imagine. These are not inexpensive. And number one on that list is our Leavenworth Chamber of Commerce. And so we are very thankful to our many, many supporters. A piece called Heilig, which of course means holy, and I think that's going to be the last calm thing you're going to see for a while, since the fire dancers will be following us. Let's see. Oh, one of the other things I like to mention is that the skill to play these comes from 7th grade band. So if you blew a trumpet or trombone or any of those brass instruments way back in school, you would step right into playing the Alpine, and I think everybody needs one. They're awfully fun. So again, thank you very much. This is Heilig.
I could do it. I know you can. Grandma used to play the saxophone.